Hey, Tony. I'm going to shut my big light out and prove it to you. Right there, I got my computer up. Acting dumb. So I was going to see if I could pop it up on the computer. So I got to work on that. And then I just remembered I can run this computer. I can, but it's got to be a distance. Crazy. So I am at 36% on the phone. I just got jumped up to about 36%. So no, it ain't that. It's just running slow through the internet. That's why I said I could do better on this phone here than I can now. Now, since I'm sitting here, that's a Windows 10, so I got to go through there and re-clean it. I just can't have the phone close to that because it interrupts the internet service. And besides that, it lags too much if I try to do it live on that, it lags too much. Now, if I sit in my chair, if I sit in my corner, I can get on there. That's what I think what it is. If I go longer than 2 hours, 3 hours on here, it's just like, if I go 2.5, 3 hours on here, all of a sudden I'll quit seeing the comments. All of a sudden. And when I flipped it over to that there, I thought, man, I got put, because it must have did an update. And just like I remembered the password to get into it. Because I got it set up with passwords. For reason being, the reason I'm going to set this up too, with the program, to where you have to have a password to get into YouTube, password to get into Facebook, password to get into Instagram, and all that on here. On my computer, I got it set up on my phones and stuff. Well, on this one, in my tablet. And that's why if they come in here without me being here, they can't get on my computer without my password. So it's crazy. Yeah, it does. That's why nobody can get on my, the way I got this one set, I got on my tablet. I'm going to set this up too. Especially for my YouTube channel. So they can't get into YouTube without my password. Because that's where they can't go in here and do a video and think it's me, or comment on somebody's, like your video. They can't get on my computer and comment. Or my phone. That's the way it got set up. And I got it set up on my tablet too the same way. You can't get in anything without my password. I mean, you can get on there, you can turn it on. But when you go click like YouTube, well, you gotta put my password in. Or if you go on my Facebook, you gotta put a password in. And since I find which one it is, you can set it up. But I'll find what it is on my tablet, and I'll let you know, and you can set it up that way too, Tony. Just make sure it's the same password. 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 Just make sure it's the same password that only that you know. Just like if I restart this computer right now, my main computer, it'll come up to the screen. I can even set up for facial recognition, or if I have one of those things that you have to put your finger on it, it goes by your finger. Now I'm thinking about getting one for that, to where it just recognizes my thumbprint only. That's it. Oh yeah. It took me a while to get used to Windows 10 because I never had Windows 10 before, but I'm used to Windows 7, Windows 8, this is Windows 10. I do got a laptop sitting right over here. I'm thinking about go ahead and getting all things wrong with it. I got the cords and stuff to it. I just got to get the screen fixed on because it's cracked. I have another laptop that I just got to get everything updated up on it. I'm thinking about getting my other laptop fixed and go ahead and put Windows 10 on it. I'm going to have them take all my music over, because I got over 1,000, 2,000 songs on there. I'm going to have them take that off the hard drive and put it on an external hard drive, and then redo the computer, and then, or I might do this motor that I got. So it's just crazy. Yeah, it is, Tony. Because I've already got my mic and stuff set, and I don't know if you can see it or not. But that little, where my finger's pointing, there's my microphone. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. When I used to do my videos on the computer, here's the mic. Here's the mic. And here's the little stand for it. That was given to me. Because when I got this computer here, and I got this computer off, as a matter of fact, this computer is a Dell Inspiration, practically almost brand new. It's got like 425 gigabytes on it. Well, it was given to me, and then this mic was given to me. The camera was given to me. So, and yes, I mean, I can turn this mic, and it even folds up. So, makes it a bit easier on the person. Yeah, it is a space saver. It really is. So later on today, whenever time I get up and get motivated, is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go through this computer and take what off what I don't need on there, and run this fragment, just cleaned up this fragment. Right now it should be running. Right now I got 4 different Wi-Fi's on there, but there's 2 in there I can use out of the 4. So I got to clean off the desk stuff anyway, so Well, my table over here. Because I got my PlayStation 1 and all that over there on the table. Just got to reorganize everything. My mouse is wireless, my keyboard is wireless. So I can just sit in my chair and get on the computer. Of course, hooked up to the 32-inch flat screen. Of course, over here, if you look, yeah, I got a smaller 19-inch flat screen, which I can hook the computer up to it too. Oh yes, I've got games. I'll show you. Oh. Wrong box. Oh. Most of these are CDs, Tony. Most of them. Biggest part of them are. And I got to do is open this bad boy up. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 36 CDs. They're not in this bag. Hee hee. Oh, I see them. You see where my brain's at, Tony? Oh. Here, let me see something here. Cause I know there's a couple in here that's not. I'm more in the country, classic country, like George Jones, Tammy Wynette, so forth and so on. This is my hunt game for my computer, which is over there. But here is my PlayStation 1 games. Men in Black. Yep, I got the Men in Black game. The SpongeBob game. Fishing game. Odds World. Area 51. NASCAR. Parasite Eve, Disc 1, Parasite Disc 2, Residential Evil, Spider-Man, Cell Phone Filter, Residential Evil Director's Cut, WWF Warzone with Stone Cold Steve Austin on the disc, Scooby-Doo, Hardcore 4x4, and which I think there's another disc in here too, I think. Nope. And Bicycle. Now, let me take these back over so I don't lose them. I gotta turn my light on for a minute, Tony. There. Hold on for a minute here, Tony. Might be on the other side. Thought it was. Hey, on my fishing games, I got the regular controller. I got a regular controller to play my fishing games. But when I found this, I only paid $15 for this. You ready for it? And these are hard to find. Check that out. This is the fishing reel for the PlayStation 1. I can sit here and fish with this, and this is my reel. It's got all my buttons and everything for it. You can tell it's for a PlayStation. But this is for my fishing games. My bass one and my reel fish. So, and it vibrates and everything. And these are hard to find, Tony. And And here is another group back in the 70s. Have you ever heard of the classic R&B? I've got the actual Temptations Gold, which is a two-discer of the Temptations. So yep, I got let me pull my chair back. Oh. I've got George Strait. I've got a whole bunch of others on the group, on as far as that goes. Yes, I've got Garth Brooks. I've got one CD in here, it's just of the 80s. See if I can find it real quick. Jason Aldean, I'm not crazy about him, but I got this in a at the auction house for a couple dollars. Garth Brooks, George Strait, Justin Moore, you remember the Andy Griffith Show? Let's do it this way. You remember the Andy Griffith Show, Tony? I got this for my 15th birthday. My mom got it, and then somehow I lost the CD. But I was at the thrift store one day, and I refound it, and I grabbed it. It's Andy Griffith. He made a gospel CD, and I've got it. Andy Griffith made a gospel CD, and I've got it in my hands. It's back in my collection. See what else do I got here? Have you ever heard of Tennessee Ernest Ford? I got the Tennessee Ernest Ford CD. See what else do we got here? It's been a while since I've cracked this thing open. See if I can find it real quick, Tony. There it is. This is not, when I got this CD, and I thought it was this guy here, but it's not. It's the Country Hits. Marty Stewart, Willie Nelson, the Geithner Brothers, Crystal Gale, Johnny Cash, Mickey Gilley, Ricky Skaggs, Mo Bendy, Charlie Rich, George Jones, so forth and so on. There's the CD. I had that CD for the past 7 years. I won't depart with that one. Let me see here. Let me turn my big light on so I can see here real quick. Yes, sir. I'll just make sure I got all the CDs out before I show you. Oh. Best of the 80s. Jason Aldean. Shotgun Messiah. Florida Georgia Line. That would be Eddie Arnold. Four of Garth Brooks' different CDs. If I get it turned around right. All four different CDs of Garth Brooks. Which I'm going to take some of these out because there's some of them I really don't listen to. Bruno Mars. The Allison Parsons Project. What I normally do, Tony, is if somebody comes here and sees my CDs, what I normally do is they'll take a particular CD that they like. What I do is I'll put, if I don't got it on my computer, I'll go ahead and put it on my computer and I will make them a copy on a CDR. They don't take none of my CDs with them because I won't see them. Pink. And make sure it's the right CD. Autoslave. Have you ever heard Against Me by New Wave? Have you ever heard of them, Tony? New Wave, I think, is the name of the group. Not only do I got the CD, well, not only do I got the CD, but I also got the DVD that goes right along with that. Have you ever heard of Skinny Puppy? I never heard of them. But it's a 2-discer. Yeah, Skinny Puppy. Grave Wisdom, God's Gift, Convulsions, Jackhammers, Double Cross. Me neither. And Tony, do you like jazz? Oh, that's Bruno. You like jazz, Tony? I didn't know this, but I got this down at the auction house. Somebody just gave it to, brought a bunch of these CDs in, gave them to Tim. Tim turned around and gave it to me. Jazz Masters. And somebody had it marked for $7.99. Jazz Masters. Miles Davis. Oh yeah, I like the blues too. B.B. King. Have you ever heard of Boney James? Boney James. I never heard of him. Yeah, when I get, yes, in Albert. Because we're here probably a couple months if everything goes right, Tony. If everything goes right, I'm gonna move in town, but I'm gonna still have internet and stuff. I'm going to get one of those 2-tier, 3-tier shelves, the whole CDs. I'm gonna have these ones here, and I'm gonna start building up my CD collection back up. That's the reason why I want to get all my music off my laptop on this computer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all them songs I got, CDs on there, music on there that cannot be replaced. So I'm going to go get me a stack of 100 CDs and cases, and I'm going to start burning them and marking them, and I'm going to put all my CDs up. Have you ever heard of common? Because what I do is what I do, Tony. Guys I never heard before is all. That's one thing I can't stand is rap. So what I'll do is I'll listen to the CD. I'll burn it onto the computer and I'll listen to it. If I like the music or not. If I don't like it, it comes off. And I got a place for these, but they stay in my case until. Let me check. Let me do something here real quick, Tony. And you're going back into the case so I don't lose the temptations. I'll put it down here. Yeah, a friend of mine gave me this case for my CDs. And she's got like 3 or 4 of these. She gave me one, but she's got like 3 or 4 of these to hold CDs. I'll be right back. Oh. Just moving stuff around for a minute, Tony. I'm going to take it to the chair. And I got cassette tapes coming out of the hind end too, so. And I gave I kept certain ones. And I kept certain ones. And I gave a bunch of them away. Hey, hillbilly. Yeah, I'm back. I just got done showing Tony my CD collection. But I'm gonna go through some of those. I'm keeping the majority of them that I know. Then the ones that I'm not familiar with, I don't like it, it's gonna be shipped out the door. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Yes. And that ain't including what's on my laptop. I got biggest majority of the country I got on there is George Jones, Tammy Won That, Johnny Paycheck. Have you guys ever heard of Johnny Paycheck before? Hillbilly or Tony? Hey Tony, can I tell you a little backstory about Johnny Paycheck? This is gonna floor you. Johnny Paycheck's from my hometown of Greenfield, Ohio. Yes, sir, there, hillbilly. He's from Greenfield, Ohio, where I'm from. He's from my hometown. His real name is Donald Eugene Lytle. And I can actually take you to his house where he was born and raised at. Exactly. My dad knowed him since he was a tetot. And also, there used to be a Club 28 Greenfield. That's where he started playing. Then he went to Nashville. And he used to tour with George Jones. And he went, before he came Johnny Paycheck, he was known as Donnie Young before he went to Johnny Paycheck. And he is buried right beside George Jones. He died in May of 2012, I do believe. Somewhere, it was the latter part of May of 2012, guys. And if you ever, hey Tony, hey, if you guys ever come up early, you guys come around, I'll take you down that way. And there's signs posted at the end of town, all the way around, that says the home of Johnny Paycheck. And then the Adams brothers. If you guys ever watched the older, when George Jones was a bit younger, the Adams brothers that played like the guitar field. I'm friends with them. I talk to them every time I go through there. I see one of them. I sit down and talk to them. There's Don, Gary, there's Don, Gary, Ralph. There's like there's about three of them brothers play for George Jones. Tammy Wynette's buried there. Tammy Wynette and George Jones, and you got Johnny Paycheck. And one of my friends that I've known for years, his dad's also buried down there with George Jones. So there's a lot, and George Jones been to Greenfield before, and this is what Johnny Paycheck did one year. Every year, Johnny Paycheck used to come up to Greenfield. This when I was a teeny tot then. But Johnny Paycheck used to come up every year and do Toys for Tots, which the Rotary Club did, right? Well, the word got, Johnny came down that year. Well, Johnny found out that all that proceeds and all that money that he raised, big majority of it went into the Rotary Club's pockets. So all these kids for Christmas really didn't have a Christmas. So you know what he done? When he got there and found out, he got back on his bus and hit right back down to Nashville. He says, no more. I'm done. I am done. After he found out. And it's pretty bad, that he made a special trip all the way from Nashville, all the way up here. And they tell him. Exactly, Tony. Basically, that's what he done. You know, here's the sad thing, though. Now, I hate to say it like this with Johnny Paycheck. He went down there broke. And he died broke. George Jones paid for his funeral. And you can also look it up, guys. I think it's even on YouTube. Look it up, where Johnny Paycheck was up here in the house, over at the Hillsborough Bar, and he basically shot at a guy. Basically shot him. And here's the backstory on that. He went to a bar. Well, he was in there drinking. The guy knew who he was. Johnny Paycheck wasn't a very tall man. He was a short feller. And he was a short dude. Well, he told this guy kept messing with him. Well, the guy kept messing with his cowboy hat, and he told me, man, leave my hat alone. Leave it alone. Guy didn't listen. So guess where Johnny Paycheck wound up at? He wound up at CCI, Chillicothe Correctional Institution, which is 35 miles away from me, and I could take you right to the prison that he was in. George Jones, I know George Jones is one of them, and I think it was Merle Haggard, bailed him out. Got him out of it. He warned him. He told him. He warned him. He says, man, he says, leave my hat alone, dude. You know. He told him like 2 or 3 times. And I think there's a video on that on YouTube. If you guys ever get a chance, go on YouTube and look up Greenfield, Ohio. Greenfield. Greenfield. I just grew up. My dad grew up. My dad knowed him. Dad used to tell me stories. My dad told me he was 12 years old. He had Johnny Paycheck, just like I say, he was a little fellow at the time, about 12 years old. My dad used to tell me that he had a guitar case. That thing was so big on him, he had to drag it. That's how, Yes, don't get me wrong, yes, Johnny had his demons. George Jones had his demons. Look it up on YouTube, man. You'll see where he got arrested when he was high on cocaine and drunk on cocaine. But do you guys know what one of George Jones famous for? I'll let you figure it out. What is one thing, and it's in a museum, what he's famous for? One of the things he's famous for. I'll give you a hint. It's got something to do with alcohol, with beer. I'll give you another hint. It's got four set of tires on it. Doesn't go very fast. This is one of the things he's famous for, and everybody won't forget it. I tell you what he done. Got drunk. What's he do? He's out. What's he do? He gets on his... Okay, he got drunk, hillbilly. He was out of beer and stuff. Beer and whiskey and everything. What's he do? He jumps on his John Deere riding mower. Goes down to the gas station, gets beer. And he's driving his mower home, and the cops, the laws behind him with their lights and everything on active, trying to get him. Pulls him over on the riding mower. And that mower is sitting down in his museum. Look it up. The famous John Deere riding mower that George Jones went and got drunk going to the gas station to get beer. That beats it all right there. Yes, sir. Hey, my cousin done that once. Got drunk at the bar. And I knew he had his mower sitting out back, and I told the owner, which I knowed him. I said, hey, Don's going to go out there and try to drive his mower. Hey, Tony, look that up. I think it's on YouTube. I think it is. And I think there's a song about it. I tell you what my cousin did. He was drunk at the bar, like I was saying. And I told the owner, well, we knowed. Well, anyways, they stopped him. So I drove his mower home. Half an hour there, he drives his mower back. Not even half hour, he drives his mower back up to the bar. And he come back in there, and I shook my head at him. I said, are you trying to play a George Jones trick? You know George Jones got busted on the motor for a DUI, and you're about ready to get busted on the motor for a DUI. Well, better yet, his brother got a DUI on the bicycle. And the only reason why he got caught on the bicycle was their stepdad, which is their stepdad, but he's my cousin too. Apparently, I didn't know till like the next day, because it was going all over town, you know. Well, anyways, I guess he left out there drunk. Well, instead of going down the main drag, Greenfield, because once you blink, you're out of town. But anyways, he decided to go down the side street. It was summer. Well, anyways, he sideswipes this people's car. He didn't do no damage to it or nothing. Maybe a scratch, but they knew who it was, and they knew he was drunk. And the only way he got caught doing it is because they was outside sitting. They called the law on him. Got him for DUI on the bike. They confiscated the bike, took him to jail. They even put him in the drunk tank. They didn't even have his bike back. But, yeah. Oh, yeah. Them brothers, them boys, they was crazy. Crazy. And Daryl, he was alright on the beer. But you give that boy whiskey on top of that, he wants to fight everybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care if he was 6'8", 7 foot. Me and him's got into it a couple times. And I told him, man, go home. Go home, dude. Before you get hurt. There's one day he come over to my dad's house one day. He was about half drunk. And he was wanting to sell me a trailer to the riding mower. And I've seen it. They took a riding mower and converted it into a trailer for a riding mower. So they come over one day at my dad's house. He was about half drunk, and Dad says, Jeff, there's somebody at the door. So, alright, so I went there and I said, I hadn't seen him. I said, Darrell, I'll be right back. I said, that is Darrell Finn. He says, what in the world is he wanting now? I said, well, I'm going to find out here in a minute. Walked out there and I said, Darrell. I said, what's going on? Hey, man, I got this trailer, you know, you've seen it. He said, I got it up for sale. Alright, Darrell. How much you want for it? Oh, I'll take $20 for it. And I had the 20. And I said, man, I'll give you $10 right now. And I said, matter of fact, I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I said, I got the $10. I said, but that's Murray sitting right there. I'll drive down there and get it right now, and I'll pay you. And he was on the ride Murray too, about half drunk. So I said, I'll be back. I said, I gotta go pick up a trailer up on the mower. He said, well, how big is it? I said, it's just a regular trailer that's pulled behind the mower. He says, how much? I said, well, he was wanting 20 for it, and I said, I got him for 10. I said, he ain't gonna get the whole 20. I said, I know what he's gonna do with it. So I take off. It's only probably not even 2 blocks, maybe about three and a half blocks away from the house. So I drive my motor down there, and I went, before I left, I went there and got the trailer thing and the car key to it. And I had one, but I didn't tell them that. But anyways, I drove down there. I beat him down there. Beat him to his house. And they say, hey, so I drove Murray down there, Dodge Murray down and shut it down. And his brother Donald's mom was out there. They say, hey, Jeff, what are you doing down here? I said, that doggone Darrell. His mom looked at me. She says, oh no, Jeff. She says, what'd he do? I said, by God, I said, he drove the Murray over to my dad's house. And I said, he sold me that trailer right there for $10. She said, she busted out loud. She says, he did what? I said, he sold me that trailer. I said, he was going to get me for 20, but he ain't getting the 20, he's going to get the 10. And that's what, you know. And they start busting out laughing. Well, Donald's just sitting there. He said, hey, Jeff. I said, what? He says, you want a beer? I said, yeah, I'll drink one. I said, I'll drink a couple with you. So we're sitting there, and I said, I wonder where Darrell's at, man. I said, it ain't that far from here to Dad's house. I said, I wonder where he's at. He says, and you guys know it ain't that far. It's almost like a straight shot. So here I am, done drink the second beer. I'm still waiting on him. And then I got to thinking, Donald said, here, Jeff, here, have another beer. So I was sitting there, and I got to thinking. I said, you better hope to God he didn't get pulled over in that doggone mower. Well, they said, Jeff, and here, I already got 3 beers in me. Jeff, go find him. So I did. His motor broke down on him. Ah, snap. So I went back down there. I said, Donald, you got a chain? He says, yeah, well, I said, your daggone brother's motor's broke down. I'm going to have to pull him back down here. He says, oh, really? I said, yeah, I think it's either... I said, I think it's the drive belt. I said, I'm not for sure, but I think that's what's wrong with it. He says, yeah, here, Jeff. Here's chain. It's all right, I'll be back. Go up there and hook him up. And I said, now, Darrell, I'm going to pull you home. All right. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be nice. So I pulled him back down there at the house, pulled him in. And then I went behind him. I told brother, I said, Donald, give me that tire right there. There was no rim to it. I said, just hand me that tire. I'm gonna pull up behind him. I said, stick out more between my mower and his mower, and I'm gonna push it up there. So I did. So I pulled out my wallet and I said, here's $10. I backed my Dodge mower up to the trailer, hitched it, about ready to pull out, and Donald said, hey Jeff. I said, what? He says, you done drinking? No, but I said, if you give me about 10 minutes or so, I'll be back. I said, let me take this over to the house and let me park it in the garage and I'll be back. He said, all right. He says, I'm thinking about going to the bar. I said, all right. Get back down to his house, got everything, make sure my dog was all right. And I said, I'll be back here in about, I said, I'll be back here within the hour, which I was. But them boys were crazy. I've seen them boys do some of the worst, stinkiest jobs that anybody can ever imagine doing. I've seen them boys do it. I've seen these boys do jobs that will make somebody's stomach turn. I've seen them boys do it. Crazy. Donald's gone now, and their mom's gone now, and sad part about it was Donald had throat cancer because of all the rum and coke and cigarettes. He always got them little cigars that, oh, they were, Tony. They were. And you didn't want to go to the bar with them. Especially around with Donald, man. Donald was the type of person that when he got on the rum and coke, man, you better look out because you could be standing there joking with him, man. He'll take it wrong and he'll be ready to swing. And you better be ready to swing back. I've seen him almost tore the bar up one night. Because I just happened to walk in. Went around there and talked to Kurt, the bar owner. And I said, Kurt, you know my usual beer? Yeah. I said, all right. I said, give me 2 of them. And he always gave me because since I was his regular, he always gave me a discount. So basically, I'm getting 2 beers for the price of 1. But anyways. And I was about ready to walk, and he always took the caps off for me on my bottles. He always took my caps off for me, where I didn't have to do it. He says, hey, Jeff. I said, I took a drink, and he says, hey, Jeff. I said, what? He says, Donald. I said, look down the bar like this. I said, yeah, what about him? He says, you see that guy next to him? Big old boy. I said, yeah, what about him? He's been pestering him. I told him a couple times to leave down alone, and he says, I'm going to give you heads up. He's drinking rum and coke. I said, oh, here we go. And about that time I finished that beer, and by the time I took my 3rd drink of my 2nd beer, it broke out. And I'm thinking, Kurt, I really don't. He says, he looked at me and says, can you help me? I said, yeah, I'll help you. But by God, I said, you're going to owe me. He says, is this like on a Friday night? Yes. The old boy got him fired up. And I said, and this one on Friday night, I said, Kurt, you're going to owe me big time for this. He says, Jeff, I got you. If you can help me take care of this, he says, you come in tomorrow night, and he says, you can have the beers on the house all night. I said, all right, you're on, Kurt. But I said, I'm going to be sore tomorrow, because I said, I know I'm going to get sucker punched. By that time, it exploded. So I said, all right, Kurt, hold on, Kurt, I ain't going to waste this beer. So I downed out and said, I didn't have time. I just set the bottle down. I'll forget where I set it at. Didn't have time. Next thing I know, the bar stools start to fly. The shot glass he has start to fly. Beer bottles start to fly. I said, got in between both of them. Next thing you know, crack. Say, got me on this side. I was trying to think what side. Cracked me right in here. And I could starting to feel the swell. And it wasn't Donald that hit me. It was this other dude. So I turned around and I cold cocked him. And I'm thinking, you crazy idiot, I blank. Now I'm being nice about it, but it was on. And here I'm trying to stand, here I'm pushing up against Donald. He says, Jeff, get off me, I'm gonna get that no count blank. And I said, no, you're not, man. Come on. Calm down, dude. It ain't worth you getting fired or you going to jail tonight. Come on. Well, here I am. I'm pushing up against him. I already got a few licks in. I did. And this guy was bigger and taller than I was. And here I am. I'm giving him some licks. So it went on. So I said, come on, Donald. Come on. Let's go outside for a little bit and cool off. Come on. He said, I'm going to beat that blank hind in this. I said, Donald, come on. So there's a couple other guys there knowed me and knowed him. They grabbed the hold. I said, boys, grab the hold of him and get him out of here. Because I said, right now, if he gets around me, it's done for. I'm telling you, it's done. And there's no stopping him. And he's had a bad hip with the rod. He's had a hip with the rod in it. And I know if something would happen to that hip, I know he would have been, So they got him out of the bar. And this old boy, he kept running his mouth. Man, I was already mad. I was already hot. I was already beyond pissed by this time. So Kurt's trying to get him out of the cup. Other guys trying to get him out of there. And I walked right behind Kurt and I said, Kurt. So that's why he didn't turn around and swing or grab a hold of me or something. I heard his name. I said, Kurt, it's me. He turned around and looked at me. I said, let me have him. Let me have him. I said, he done cracked me. And I said, you see it. I said, I'll get him out of here. So he says, all right. He said, I trust you. So I got me a chair. And I stood on the chair and I cut my lie with him. And I put my finger at him. I said, I'm going to tell you what, blank. I said, you got 3 ways to walk out of this bar. Either walk, crawl, or you're going to be carried out. 1 to 3. I said, dude, you cracked me for no apparent reason. And I said, you hit me for no apparent reason. I said, that's game on. I said, I will knock you down to my size and we'll go at it. Now, I said, I'm telling you now, quit wasting your time, quit wasting your breath, just stop it. Go. He says, and then he didn't realize I hit him. He said, I wonder who hit me. He said, I'll beat their blank. I didn't say a word. Because if I did, it really would have been on. So finally, these couple of guys that I grew up with, they say, and they just happened to walk in. And they see me still standing on this chair with this guy. And they say, and they looked up at me, says, Jeff, he says, you got problems? I said, yeah. I said, this old big boy right here. I said, he started on Donald Fenton. And I said, to the point to where Donald's out front right now. They're trying to get him to calm down long enough. And I said, this blank right here, cold cracked me, and I said, I got a few licks in. They looked at him, and they said, did you hit him? Yeah, I hit him. He says, that's been, and they was brothers. And they was the type that they didn't take no crap. So, went on, they said, well, why don't you step out back with me? We got something we want to talk to you about. They calmed down enough, though. They said, hey, why don't you step out back with us for a minute? We want to talk, we got something we want to show you that you might be interested in. And I knew what was going to happen. I knew exactly when they said that, and they turned to me and winked at me. And I knew right then and there, he was about ready to get a butt whooping of a lifetime. So they took out back. Wasn't even 10 minutes there, both them brothers walked in, and I could see their hands starting to swell up a little bit. Thinking, oh crap, they beat the dog snot out of him. They come over and they said, they seen my whole side right here was all puffed out. They said, Jeff, you alright? I said, yeah, I'm fine. But at least I got my few licks in, and I'm left-handed, man. My hand was kind of swollen. And I showed my hand. They said, "Dad, Jeff, how hard did you hit him?" I said, "I hit him pretty hard to let him know that I meant business. I kind of rocked him a few times, but." Says, "Hey, Jeff, gonna be here for a while?" I said, "Yeah, why?" Beers on us for tonight. I said, "Huh?" So what? Beers on us. This guy stood like 6'6", 6'7". And here I'm 5'7.5". They said the reason why we're buying you beers is because you have enough balls. Enough balls stand up to a guy that size. I said, "You darn right I am." I said, "It's pretty bad. I had to stand on the chair to come eye to eye with him. You know, that's bad." They said, "Beer's on us for the night." Well, 2 nights beer on the house, so. But yeah, Donald was the type that he didn't bother nobody. He drank his rum and coke. As long as you left him alone. And he didn't start no trouble. He was fine. So from that night on, Kurt asked me to be there on Friday and Saturday nights when he's in there. Because Kurt see what I was capable of doing. And I'm not bragging. Yes, I've got my butt whooped many a times. Trust me. But I got my licks in. Trust me. I have. But anyways, so he just sat there, and Kurt looks at me and he says, "Well, from now on, Jeff, I want you to start coming in here when he's in here." Well, there's one night I wasn't in there. Well, it was on a Saturday night I wasn't there. Something came up that night. Well, I think my dad was sick or something, and I didn't go around the bar. Well, a couple days later, I seen Kurt sitting outside the bar before opening time. He says, "Jeff." I said, "Yeah." Because I was walking up the street. I was heading back over Dodge for something, and I was going to go back uptown. He looks at me and he says, "You doing anything? You got a minute?" And I said, "No, I ain't doing nothing at the moment." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Where was you Saturday night?" And I said, "Well, I was over at Dodge." I said, "What you had to bar him for?" I said, "For how long?" He says, "Well," he says, "first I was going to bar him for life, but I barred him for about a month." I said, "What'd he do?" He started the same conniption crap here the other night. Instead of walking away, the guy was this guy who was agitating myself was the same guy, and of course here it is. The swelling of my face started to go down, and this is my good eye. My left eye is my bad eye, so I had a hard time seeing. So he says, instead of walking away, the guy he started again. And I said, "Well, You gotta do what you gotta do, Kurt. Well, every time Donald walked past there, Donald, if Kurt was outside, they talked like we are. Kurt never had nothing against Donald. It's just his bad temper and don't know how to control it, and instead of walking away, he wants to fight. So apparently, after I got done talking to him, that later on that evening, I was walking back down because the bar is kind of corner from McDonald's. So I was over at McDonald's, just got done eating a hot sweet tea, so I went outside to take a chew. But I seen Donald over there talking to Kurt. Well, what Donald didn't know, that I already knew what happened. And the reason why he got bothered. I just want to hear what he has to say about it. So he walked across the street. Well, he seen me. So he came across the street, went and got him a cup of coffee and stuff, come out, and he said, Jeff, he said, I got bothered. For what? He says, oh, here the other night, I was sitting there minding my own business, and this guy was agitating me, and me and him got into it. And I said, oh, you did? He says, yeah. He says, I just got done talking to Kurt. He finally caved in and let me come back in the bar. And this like on a Thursday, and this like midweek around Tuesday or Wednesday. Turns around and asks me, Jeff, you just want to come down to the bar with me on Friday night? Yeah. And he was doing moon jobs, I was doing moon jobs. They took yards, I took yards. We split. He says, Jeff, he says, here's so-and-so's dress. You go up there. They pay $30, $40 for doing the yard. You go do it. Where he says, if you do the yard, the money's yours. So by the end of the week, I had like over $100-some by Friday. Hit the bar. Well, his brother Daryl was in there one night. Well, somebody, hold on guys, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Be right back. We're gonna look at the sink for a minute. I'm back, guys. Oh yeah, I had to go drain the old man's vein. Well, that night, that was that Friday. Matter of fact, that was that same Friday. Well, we all went in. And we didn't hit the bar because the bar on a Friday night closed at 2:30 in the morning. And we usually would hit the bar about 9:30, 10 o'clock because that's when all the good stuff started. So we was over at McDonald's. We ate. I got me something to drink. We all ate. And we was planning on going over at 9:30, 10 o'clock. But we waited till our stomach kind of settled down before we started. But we already had a couple beers prior before going down there. So we walk in the bar, having a good time around about midnight, 12:30. And the way we knew that there was wanting to fight somebody gave him a couple shots of whiskey that night. Because me and Donald was sitting at the bar first, and then we seen a couple of our buddies come in, so we were standing there talking to them. Well, we heard a commotion, but we didn't know exactly at first what it was. And I happened to look over, and there was wanting to fight somebody. I heard him threaten this guy. I said, Donald, Donald. Says, what? I said, doggone, there's going to fight somebody. Somebody gave him some whiskey. I said, by God, let's get him. He says, oh, crap, because we was planning on staying, because usually after the bar closes, we'll usually sit around for another half hour or so drinking with the bar owner. He said, doggone it. So I went over there and I said, Kurt, I said, somebody said, Daryl Fence some freaking whiskey, he's wanting to fight. He says, oh no. Well, Donald had a rum and coke. Yes. It'd be like more gasoline you put on the fire, the bigger it gets. Well, that was with Daryl. The more you gave him, the meaner he got, and the more he wants to fight somebody. And we knew somebody had to give him more than a couple shots. So Donald heated down his rum and coke. I had a beer and a shot in my hand of Jack Daniels, so I had a double shot. I should shoot that down. I shot the beer down. Set the glass on the table where Donald set his. We went, and by the time we got to him, it was too late. Too late. Game on. Fight. And it almost broke out to a full-blown bar fight. Just about did. So he looked at me, Donald looked at me and says, Jeff, he says, you grab one side of him, I'll grab the other, and let's get him out of here. Well, me and Donald was pretty well halfway lit. I forget how many beers and shots I had that night. But it took a lot for me to get pretty well halfway lit. And I said, oh, God. Well, we grabbed a hold of him and got him outside. And Kurt came out, and Kurt looks at me and he says, get him home. And I said, all right, I said, I'll try. I said, Kurt, there's no guarantees. I said, I just don't want no trouble, me being in trouble. He says, Jeff, he says, you're not no trouble. He says, try to get, he says, I understand, just try. He says, I said, all right. He says, I'll see you guys. He says, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Well, I'll get him, because where the bar came out, you turn to the right, Ivy and Twix is a flower shop, and then you have the alley. Well, our mistake was, instead of taking him on down the street, down 2nd Street, we took him down the alley. We was trying to confuse him. Get him down the alley behind the bar, and he broke away from us. He wanted to fight both of us out in the alley. And so, he really didn't want to fight me because he knew not to fight me. And he knew better not to fight me. Because he knew that time I'll pound his head in and then laugh about that time. Well, so here his brother Donald squares up with him. I said, don't do it. Well, by the time I said that, Daryl turned around, made the mistake, took a swing at me. Well, I went back and I missed it. I didn't do nothing. Now, if he would have connected, then he would have got his butt whooped. So by that time he took a swing at me, he takes off. Well, where the alley is and everything, it's kind of dark in that area, and it's kind of hard to see. But there's lights there though. But you can see a shadow. But it's hard to make out who it is. And me and Donald always carried knives on. At the time, we always carried knives on us. So I got my knife out. And I said, Donald, you better get your knife out just in case somebody, I said, I see somebody standing in the shadows, so I don't know who it is. And we knew better not to trust anybody standing in the shadows. We knew better. So he pulled his knife out and I pulled mine out. Well, we had it in our hands. We didn't have the blade open or nothing. We just had it closed. So it was somebody from the bar. And we knew who it was. They said, yeah, he says, I seen what happened. And I looked at him, I said, yeah. I said, yeah. And I said, you stay out of it. I said, it doesn't have nothing to do with you. If I were you, you'd mind your own business. And we'll mind ours. I said, do you know which way his brother went? He says, yeah, I do. I said, well, you better get to talking. Because we don't want him to hurt himself or hurt somebody else or hurt himself. I said, where's he at? He said he went right, because the way he went, it was so quick that we didn't have enough time to see which way he went because it was fast. He said he went back in the bar. Looked at Donald and I said, good Lord, here we go. So we put our knives back in our pocket. We walked in the back door of the bar, walked up there, and here he is. And there's Kurt. Well, they was breaking up. Kurt was standing there trying to break it up, and he says, you guys, the only thing he told me and Donald was, you guys are alright. I said, yeah, we're fine. He says, what happened? I said, we was trying to get him down to the house, and I said, we fooled him. We thought we fooled him. And I said, we got him down here to the alley, and I said, he broke free, and I said, he wanted to fight his brother, and they squared up. And I said, he took a swing at me, and I dunked back. So he told Daryl, you're barred. He didn't say me and Don was barred. He was barred. He says, I'm going to bar you for 3 months. So Don looked at me and says, he looked at Kurt and says, Kurt, can Jeff use the phone to call my sister up? He says, yeah. He says, Jeff, you know the number, right? And I said, yeah. I said, I know your number. So I called down there and got his sister on the phone. And I said, hey, you better get up here to the bar. I said, Daryl's out. I said, somebody stepped him whiskey in here. And I said, we're trying to figure out who it is. And I said, we had him out here once. And I said, he broke free. He wanted to fight his brother. And he took a swing at me and I dunked. And I said, Kurt just barred him for 3 months. I said, you better get up here. Less than 3 blocks away. She was there in less than 5 minutes. She came in and helped me and Kurt because Donald couldn't handle him because Donald was pretty well getting there. So me and Kurt helped her get him in the car. And he was wanting to fight his sister. He was wanting to fight me. He was wanting to fight Kurt. And I told Mern, I said, Mern, I said, got it. I said, we put him in the back seat of the car. No, she had a van at the time. We put him back in the van, in the backpack, and closed the hatch on him. That's why he couldn't sit there and try to take a swing at her or try to fight her and make her wreck. And I told her, I said, when you get home, just open that latch up. And then when he gets out of there and falls out, close the hatch, go in the house. I said, let him cool off out there for a little bit. So I walked back in the bar and I went up to Kurt. I said, Kurt, am I barred or anything? He said, no, you're good. He says, you didn't do nothing. You was just trying to help. You was just trying to help get him out of here to avoid trouble. But the party still went on. Me and Don, I said, Don, so here again. Went up there and I said, give me 2 beers, Kurt, of Coors Light. He says, I have my money out. He says, well, it's on the house. I said, well, keep out $5. I said, remember, I said, keep out $5 just in case I want to come here on a rainy day or something. I don't got no money. I got money for beer. He said, all right. He said, that's a deal. All righty. Rolled him, yes sir. Rolled him out like a rug and dusted him off with the sweeper. So it went on. And so I haven't seen them guys for about a week or 2. Well, next thing I know, here's Donald getting in trouble. This time wasn't at the bar. He had this boy helping him, and they had a falling out. Because Donald was paying him right to do these yards by what it was. Donald thought he'll go do this yard, and he'll do half of whatever, or half but do it, and then these people, because he was working for a couple of retailers like I was. Well, when the people go past, they see the yard half done, they already done paid him. Well, they're going to get on to him. They was getting on to Donald. He said, well, he moved that yard. Well, no, he didn't. He half butted and half done it. So Donald got on to him, let it slide. The first time. Well, what really ticked Donald off was that he was supposed to go do this yard with the mower, didn't even do it, and when told him that he done and got paid for it, didn't do it. Well, that caused Donald to lose that job, but that was a $40 job that he lost because of him. So, in other words, the boy took the $40 and hightailed him. Well, Donald says, he was telling me, well, that's it. I said, what's wrong with you? He says, well, he supposed to go up there and do this yard for $40 and he didn't do it, and I lost a $40 job. Well, a couple of days later, there for a couple of days I didn't see Donald around anywhere on the motor or anything around McDonald's. And I knew about what time they come up to McDonald's in the evenings. About 6:30, 7 o'clock in the summer. Yeah, that was every day. Him and his brother both. Every day. Well, one evening I was there at McDonald's and I seen Daryl, but I didn't see Donald. I looked at Daryl, I said, where's Donald at? He says, he's in jail. Jail? What did he do? Well, you remember that boy that helped him? Mentioned his name. I said, yeah, what about him? Well, you know that crowbar this is a pretty good sized crowbar. He says, you know that old crowbar? And they named it Betsy. Well, Donald did. And Daryl says, you remember old Betsy? I said, yeah. He was talking about the crowbar. I said, yeah, what about that crowbar? Well, I was like, uh-oh. Apartment's down on the corner of 4th and McLean. I said, yeah, you're talking about the red brick apartments there? I said, yeah. He said, the old boy was upstairs in the apartment up there, and he was out there harding Donald. Donald was minding his own business. No, that's jail. Well, Donald threatened him with that. He says he threatened with old Betsy. I said, he did. He said, yeah, he said he was going to beat the dog snot out of him with old Betsy if he ever came down. He was wanting to come down. So I said, so basically now I said, so therefore Donald's going to set up a jail for the next 24 hours. He says, yeah. Well, went to the weekend rolled around, sitting at the bar. Here comes Donald in. Seen him, my heart. I leaned back, I was sitting at the bar stool, and I looked, seen my heart at him. I said, Kurt, get him a Miller's Light and a rum and coke, it's on me. He said, alright. Said up there. He said, well, thanks, Kurt. Kurt says, don't thank me, thank Jeff for it. Looked at me, he says, you buy that from me? I said, yeah. I said, I haven't seen you for a minute. I said, I heard you was in jail because you was going to take old Betsy to the old poor boy's head. He says, yeah. And he said, they confiscated old Betsy too. They still got it and they're supposed to give it back to me. I said, oh, they still got old Betsy, huh? Yeah. He said, I'll get that. He says, I'll get old Betsy back sooner or later. About a month later, so we were sitting there drinking. Well, I just happened. Donald didn't seem just for luck, or it would have been known. He looked at it, and I happened to see him. I said, Kurt, that boy. I got Kurt to his house. That boy's coming in here, and I said, that's the one Donald's having trouble with. I said, you better get him out of here. I said, or if you're going to have a bar fight. So Kurt walked up, Kurt says, come on, Jeff. I said, Donald, I'll be right back. You just stay put. Don't you move and just stay put. Well, we kind of blocked the view where Donald couldn't see him. So Kurt walked up to him and said, hey. He says, because usually if you have a bad reputation of fights and stuff or a bad rep, usually Kurt won't let you in the bar. He told me, he says, hey man, he said, I've heard you had a bad reputation with certain people around here. And I said, I can't have you in my bar. He says, that ain't right, that's discrimination. Kurt says, no it ain't. He says, I have a right to refuse service to anybody I want to refuse service to. And there's nothing you can do about it. So went on, he left. So he had a couple bouncers in there. He told them, but they knew what he looked like. They said, don't let him in there. And he went back and told his other bouncers, he says, you watch that back door. If he comes up here, you get him out of here. He says, what's the name? He mentions, well, so-and-so. He says, oh, I knew you're talking about. He said, I'll take care of that problem. So I walked back up and sit down beside Donald. Donald looks at me. He says, what was that all about? Oh, nothing. I says, some prick wanted to come in here and I said, he's just wanting a witness to make sure that, you know, if something did happen, it can't be his word against his word and his word against Kurt's word and all that. Okay, now I went, phew. That was a close one. Then Donald developed throat cancer. Smoking those little cigars, you know, that comes in the pack, looks like a cigarette pack, but those little cigars. For smoking them and drinking too much rum and coke and smoking too many of them boys smoked all their life. Well, he couldn't smoke or nothing. Well, he's of smoking and stuff. And he told me, he says, Jeff, he says, I'm back to smoking. Can you promise me not to say nothing to Mom and my sister and them about it? I said, yeah. I said, what you do is on you. You know, if you get caught, you're caught. You know. Well, he went through radiation and finally went in remission. Well, he went back in just smoking and drinking again. Well, this time around, he had enough balls to come out and tell his mom and them what he was doing. They got upset with him, but I was down there one day, and he had this big fit of I forget what it was. It was rum. Rum 151 or something. He said, "Hey, Jeff," he says, "you want to drink with me?" "Yeah." I said, "You back into drinking?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "Jeff, you only live once in life. I'm going to enjoy it." I said, "Alright." So I walked up to McDonald's, and I said, "I'll be back down here later." I said, "Alright." I said, "I'll bring a 12-pack. So I bought a 12-pack, went down there. Well, next thing you know, by God, a fight started in the house. I only had like 3 beers, and I was going to take that 12-pack with me. I'm thinking, nah, I better not, because I had the end of the curtain opened up, and I didn't want them to think I've been drinking. Well, I left. Went down, because this guy was running the shop, and I was in the back of the building at the time. Next thing I know, just like I was kind of come through to go down and use the bathroom. By the time I did, I heard a knock at the door. I'm thinking, I seen the time. I think it's after midnight. Who in the world? It was the police department. I'm thinking, oh snap. They said, "Hey Jeff." I said, "Yeah," and I knew who it was. "Was you up at Donald Darrow's house earlier?" I said, "Yeah." "Why?" "Well, they say you were." I said, "Yeah, what about it?" "Well, there was a fight broke out." I said, "Yeah," and I said, "Yeah," and I left. I said, "Yeah, I had like 3 cans. I said, "Yeah, I bought a 12-pack. And I bought like 3 cans. I said, "I drank 3 cans out of that 12, and I didn't bring it down here or nothing." He said, "Nah," he says, "we ain't worrying about that. Do you know who started what up there?" I said, "Yeah, I'll tell you who started it. And I could tell you." So I told him what happened. "Alright." They're still up. They said, "Yeah, they're standing outside." So I walked up there. And they showed back, the PD showed up. Left both them boys off the hook. They said, "Boys, you guys are good." They said, "Huh?" Donald says, he said, "What?" He says, "You guys ain't going to jail. These other guys are. They're going to jail." So they left. They kind of looked, Donald looked at me and says, "Did they talk to you?" I said, "Yeah, they talked to me." "What'd you tell them?" I told them, like, what happened. And I said, "That's the reason why they got you boys off the hook, is because of what I said. Because they trust my word." They said, he says, "By God, Jeff, come on. This going to get plastered and really drunk." I said, "Well, come on." We got drunk that night. I got drunk. I couldn't even lift my arm up. I got drunk. Paid for it, and well, long before that, Kurt shut the bar down because he was having. I torched him before he shut the bar down. He was starting to have too much troubles. He was constantly fighting. Law was getting called, and normally around here, if the law gets called too many times, they'll make a statement to where, to shut it down. Well, Kurt went ahead and shut the bar down for anything. Serious, before it got too serious. Well, went down there and got to talking to Donald, and we went down in the basement. Down in the basement part, he had his bar set up down there, pool table, bar, and everything. So we were sitting there at the bar drinking a few beers, and he says, "Jeff," he says, "I got something to tell you." Like, uh-oh. He says, "You know Kurt passed away, didn't you?" I said, "You said what?" I said, "Are you talking about the same Kurt I'm thinking of that ran the bar?" He says, "Yeah." "What happened?" He says, "Well," he says, "here about a couple months ago, and this is around August. He says, well, here a couple months ago, around here about last part of May, first part of June, he came down here, had a few beers with me. And, well, he says he was fine. He says, by God, he says, a week later he had a heart attack. I said, well, I'll be doggone. So I told Donald, I said, by God, I'll be right back. He said, where you going? By God, I'm going to go up here and get a 12-pack of Miller's Light bottles. By God, we're going to drink Kurt. We are. I said, did I stutter? No. I said, all right then. Whenever I got a 12-pack, went back down in the basement with him. And by God, we sit down there and drink. I said, that 12-pack. I miss old Donald though, but those boys were just flat out crazy. I mean, not right. I mean, they had issues up here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making fun of them, but they had some issues. They wasn't taught properly how to read and write. They wasn't taught, certain things. You know what I'm saying? But they was good-hearted boys, though, but crazy when they drank, though. Do anything in the world for somebody. But it was just that point in time, and Donald, his cancer came back, and sad part, he died before his mom did. And I think his mom just couldn't handle it, the burying her son. Broken hearted. But they was good old days though. God, were those good old days. It ain't the same now like it was. But thank goodness but when I drank, I was the total opposite of them. Total opposite. Drink with me. You say like Tony, you come here to my house, we're sit here drinking and watching a movie or something, or wrestling, whatever. You'll never hardly ever hear a peep out of me. Unless you say something. We can sit here, drink beer, smoke, and you too, hillbilly. Just like if we go to the pipe show. You won't hear anything out of me. Unless you're talking to me. And yes, I still got your guys' pipes on standby. By the way. Now I do got the 7L Chevy coming to me Monday, like I said earlier, and also I got a box from a friend of mine. She's not taken care of. So she says, well, I got a box coming to you from Amazon. She ain't telling me what it is. Now I'm trying to figure out what it is. Now I think it's part of my birthday present. I'm not for sure yet, but she hasn't said nothing. Well, guys, I hate to cut it short tonight, but it's going on 4:30 in the morning. I just not realized the time. I'm sorry I keep you guys up this late in the morning, and I do apologize. But you guys be well, be safe, be careful, have a great Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you guys later on tonight on John Albright Up's live stream, and also on tomorrow's live stream. I might make another video sometime today, depends on how I feel. So, you guys be careful, be safe, be well. I'm sorry I'm not seeing all you guys' comments. Again, so y'all be safe, be careful. Have a good night or good morning. Y'all take care.